Hey there. I'm doing a couple of things that I've seen people do here. Maybe it's an Asian thing. I just cut a leaf. That was a good one. I'm trying to trim my plant, which I see a lot of the old people doing. And I'm squatting. And Yumiko, the dogs are upset because Yumiko is leaving to go take Dad to the clinic. I've got a few things I'm going to try to do this morning, namely another listing for the store. And, oh, I just cut another leaf. Whoa, so much for the squatting. I'm going to try to do another listing for the store and do a book reading. So let's get the day started. But first I gotta finish this trimming, and then I'll do it carefully, quit cutting the green leaves, and then hang the laundry and get going. Let's do it. All right, now I'm going to upload this lovely little box as the next item in my YouTube store. So I'll kind of show you the process. First, I've got this, the first thing I do is take photos, and I've got this old Taisho or early Showa era school chair. Believe it or not, this is a school chair. Sit on it like this, and you can flip it over like this and do crafts on it like a desk sitting on your knees. And so I'm going to use it for that purpose to take photographs. So let's take some pictures. Hello there, Softypapa here from the Old Tokaido antique store on YouTube. I've got another item to show you. This is a special little box that has some information from my daughter Emily that might be helpful in understanding how it was once used. Isn't it lovely? I believe that it's made of bamboo. We get a closer look when I open up the mirror. I believe it's a little children's jewelry box. It's got some lovely hand-painted figures on there. There's a woman with a child strapped onto her back. You can see there's a little damage right there. The paint's been worn off there. Something happened. But when you get my daughter's take on it, maybe that'll help explain. There's some writing up there. You could take a photo of that and run that through Google Translate and maybe try to figure out what that says. A little floral pattern here, and the floral pattern extends off of this lip down to this section down here, and there's a little drawer there. Now let me explain how those are used. So first, this part comes out. This is where you get the idea that maybe you'll agree with me, or maybe you won't, but I think that's bamboo. Look at the grain there. Bamboo that's been flattened out. There's a little damage on this one side here. Otherwise, it's in pretty good shape. This is a mirror. The mirror is in good shape. There you are. I like that. And it slides right back in. There, like that. Down here a little further is a drawer that can open up. And inside you could put various and sundries, you know, maybe little bits of jewelry the girl borrows from her mother or something like that. I like that little metal handle, a little offset there. Maybe that's brass. It seems to be in good shape. It's pinned on, you can see. And it closes up nicely. If you look inside, you'll see that there's green and stuff. And maybe the children that used this used it with crayons, to hold crayons as well. It holds together nicely. You know, like I said, a little wear and tear, patina of age. That looks a little bit more like pine on the back, huh? Maybe just the back of the mirror was bamboo. It's hard to tell. Get a good look here. Now here's the story from my daughter. I showed this to Emily. She's 24. She was raised in Japan, here in the same community. And we have these things called kominkan. They're like community centers, and the children do activities there. And she told me, when I showed this to her, that they had items like this at the kominkan to entertain the children. Little boxes like this, not exactly the same, but it struck her memory that the little boys and girls would play with. And she thinks, my daughter thinks, this might have been a little girl's jewelry box, you know, that could have been available at the local kominkan, maybe the same one that my daughter went to. It's still just down the road here. And or maybe it was just a plaything of a little girl. If I was to date this, it's tough to tell you for sure, but I would say mid-Showa period, maybe early Showa period around the war, or possibly earlier than that, maybe Taisho period, 1912, 1928. I think that's what the Taisho period was. It's hard to tell for sure, but it's a nice, very nice item. This is the kind of Mingei craft item that really gets my interest. It's available in the store, and if it's still available when you see this video, it'll be hanging off the bottom of the video as well. You can buy it from there. Otherwise, it's just a one-off, so when it's gone, but the video will remain. That's it. Oh, here's a couple of photos to look at. Thanks for joining me here in my backyard. Take care. Let's walk to Starbucks now to upload the listing. Just the internet connection isn't good at my house yet because we don't have any internet installed. So hopefully this month we're in line. Well, I've changed my mind. Instead of Starbucks, I'm going to go to Mini Stop where I do my morning stuff. And as along the way, I'm passing two memorable places. That apartment building is a place where I used to live. And that apartment building is a place where I used to live. In fact, we lived on the identical units. The bottom floor, second from the end, right dead center there. That was our unit right there in the middle. And this was our parking spot number 5 right there. And then down over here, it was the same thing. I'll walk past it. We had the second from the bottom at the far end. And I think our parking spot was the same. Second to the end. Someone else lives there now. I won't invade their privacy. I'll just in glancing go past this one right here. I used to have that window open in the stormy weather, and my daughter and I would sit there with our legs dangling out. Our parking spot was there, number 2. And we had these little narrow stairs that we could go down. And that's my doctor right over there. And that's my pharmacy right there. Very convenient to everything. If you were sick, which I was not very often. It was a good place to live. That was before. That was one unit. We lived in one other place after that before we went back to America. Okay, the mini stop's right up here. There were young girls all over the place, so it's a university, so I turned the camera off not to be intruding on their privacy, but our place is just up there. And then just down here, 2 blocks down, if you can call these blocks, they're like 100 steps, is Mini Stop. I used to come down here all the time with Emily for ice cream while Mama cooked dinner, or a beer. And this is where I come every morning for my Good Life meditation as well. Oh, there's the owner right there. He's going to be surprised to see me now. That's him right there. I turn off. Okay, left a Mini Stop. I've successfully listed that jewelry box, that children's jewelry box, and made the video for it using the same copy that I created for both. It's interesting how I can recycle it perfectly. The title and description for both the listing and the photo and the title. So the title and description both work out just fine. So now I'm gonna head home and do a little more work on that. Now that I've got the hard work done of upload, I can manage the uploads from home with the dogs. And then lunch should be coming up in an hour or two. And then from there, I'll get ready to go out and do my Wanyan Street, Dog Cat Street. And then I'll go do my book reading for the afternoon. It's the 2 things I need to do today that I decided to do today. Oh no, I just remembered I forgot to hang the laundry. I think I can do it in time. The work continues apace on the demolition of this apartment structure where I wanted to live at one time. They pretty much demolished all of that one building down, and the excavators are just pulling it apart. Put it in the truck and off they go. It'll be gone probably by the end of the week. And maybe one of our last looks at the unit that I wanted to live in. It's that end unit right there. Oh, I pined after that. I coveted that unit for years when we lived here because it had a yard. So I'll tell you something interesting. As I just arrived home in my backyard here, I saw a man across the way there at that abandoned farm. He stopped, he parked right over there, and he went up there and he cut down one big bamboo that had fallen over. He's probably 5-10 years older than me, maybe in late 60s. And that was enough. You could see the exhaustion, arms akimbo, staring at the bamboo after he'd cut it to pieces, thinking to himself, this is hard work. Sure is hard work. Yeah, it's not just me. And he left. Now I'm home. Let me go see my dogs. Let's sneak up on them. There's Ollie. Where's Rudy? Let's go around to the front door. I'm going to try to get to the bamboo forest this afternoon to pull up some of those bamboo. Or is that overkill? Am I asking too much? Am I hoping too much? There's Rudy. Always waiting for me. Hi, little boy. Thank you for waiting. Put us home. Okay, say hi to Ollie. Good job. Hi, Ollie. There's my boy. There's Mama's boy. Okay, I'm going to do something for the first time since coming back to Japan. First time in Japan. I'm going to do a book reading from Going Alone. I've got the camera set up over there. Got the wireless mic on. Tested it out. Seems to be working. Let's do it. Introduction. How the journey began. If you want to live in peace, go to the interior desert. Marcinis the Great. Greetings from a man in the past, with his sincere interest in your future. My name is Kurt. Sitting here continuing with Moby Dick, and I'm reading the section where Elijah is accosting Ishmael and Queequeg as they're about to board the Pequay. And he's commenting about the shadowy figures of the men that Ishmael saw running towards the ship, which is about to depart for the open ocean. And Elijah's asking him, did you really see the shadowy figures? And then he comes back, can you find them again? And that's not the part I want to relate. What I want to relate is, this is the first time to read this book. I read this book when I was 20, maybe. 40 years, it's been 40 years. And I remember distinctly reading those same lines with the curiosity that kind of just etched it into my mind. Reading it, what's he talking about? What is he talking about? The shadowy figures? Can't find them again? And you read it again 40 years later. But doesn't matter, it's just the same lines. And it's like retracing the course of memory that's just etched, like that's the right word, in my brain. Okay, I think I've had enough of that. The rain should be coming pretty soon. You can see the cloudy skies. Yumiko should be starting dinner soon. Let's head on down to Family Mart for a beer. Settle in the night and maybe some ice cream. Let's do it. All right, I was just walking and I spotted these, and I think I know what that means. They've got it all triangulated, this whole field. I think they're going to turn this field into houses. They just spotted me, so I don't want to film them. But I think that harkens the end of this beautiful field, which is, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it. Goodbye, field. I mean, not right away, but you know. There's the 5 o'clock chime. You probably can't hear it. It's kind of dim. I'm at the Family Mart bench. I don't stop here like I used to. It's interesting how circumstances change. It's nice to sit here though. It kind of feels like old Japan for me. This feels like another life. I'm gonna soak that up, think about that. Why does a place like this feel like an old life? Just like my traipsing down to the old school that I used to work at felt like an old life. I'm starting to no longer circulate in places where I remember or were familiar. I have no desire to walk to the school anymore. I had to force myself to sit here. It's like everything moves on, and that's always been the case with me. I don't linger in the past. I don't remember, rarely, the past. I don't talk about the past. I don't think about the past. The past is largely dead to me. That's why I always say that when I die, I want to be able to die without a single backwards glance. Well, now time to go inside, get some ice cream for my wife and I, and a beer, and then head on home before the rain starts coming down in stronger earnest, as it will soon. I got a little bit wet coming down, but shouldn't be too bad. Feels good. Good air. Okay, heading out.